of times when we don't have a solution, we think this is it. We think, why is this happening to me? And we go down this rabbit hole of not moving. And a lot of people are so depressed and trying to mask and hide depression behind their thoughts. Let's get to the thoughts, get to the root of what's going on, and how are we going to fix that moving forward? So you feel
What's up, everybody? You know what time it is. It's your older sister, Nikki.
I'm the younger sister, Jackie.
And this is Relax, Relate, Debrief. Here we go. And this is us getting started. We want to say thank you. I want to say this. I felt this I felt led to say this. You passed by so many other channels just to get to this one. And I want to say thank you. Thank you for stopping by. No, for real. In all honesty, we want to say welcome to the new people that are here. You want to stop by. You stop by and see what we're all about. Listen, we like to talk about hot topics, current topics. And the one thing that we have been reviewing for the last couple of weeks is that famous show Married at First Sight, and it is definitely a sight.
So, as you know, before we get into reviewing, we need you to do what?
Subscribe!
Not only do we need you subscribing, but we need you hitting that notification. Make sure that you are getting notified when we drop a new episode, which is one every week. Last week, you didn't see an episode from us because we have been reviewing Married at First Sight. And when we watched Married at First Sight last week, we just felt like this was terrible. The show was absolutely repetitive. There was nothing new going on under the sun. And what you're not going to do is have us making a mockery out of this wonderful channel. So, we watched it again, and we're back. We are on episode 11, bringing you our commentary on Married at First Sight. Subscribe, be sure to share, and make sure you are following us on our social media so you are getting notified of all of our content.
Absolutely. So let's get into these couples. We want to jump right into it. First couple we're going to bring up is Chris and Nicole. And y'all, why I wanted to start it with them, because I'm tired. I am tired of them.
Well, say more. Say more.
I am tired. This couple irked my soul, specifically when they were sitting at the table with the other couples trying to act like they were experts and not, contestants or participants of the experiment. Nicole proceeded to try to get into everybody's business. Well, what's going on with everybody, which is normal. They come together and they talk. But then she inserted, and then she wanted to say, like, specifically when she was talking to Jasmine and Era, she was trying to let them know that basically, they have to put in the work, and they basically have to do better.
They should be further along.
They should be further along than what they are, and by now everybody should at least be kissing Shaquille and Kirsten. She tried to tell them, that's like, you're trying to handle everybody's situation. When sis, you need to figure out your situation, because your husband, episode before, had called you. He said you was a little bit thicker than what he dates, and so that was a little bit that was offensive to you, and certainly could be offensive to anybody, especially a woman or a male that is struggling, or at least we all have flaws. Like, we all have things that we don't like about ourselves, or don't care about ourselves. And so for someone to kind of point that out, but I will give props to Chris, because he didn't allow the cameras to roll and she just hear this information. He told her straight up, like, I wasn't trying to be rude. I was really just being specific in the person that I date. I was interested in before and dating, and so therefore I said something. I didn't mean it, but I want you to know I don't want you to be offended.
He meant it.
No, he meant it. But, and my last thing about them is, I'm tired of everybody telling Chris he got the man up. Nicole is this and that. Oh, she's so strong. Her dad came in there. He already had a problem with the situation, and he basically was telling him, you need to put your grown man drawers on and level up. Okay, she's gonna be able to walk all over you if you don't get your self together. So,
Level up.
Chris and Nicole did Chris and Nicole too much.
Okay, here's the thing with Chris and Nicole. Nicole's doing too much. Nicole is DTM. Doing too much.
Because why was I struggling to figure that out?
After I just said it.
I know.
And you'll evaluate yourself. So what the issue I'm having with Nicole is Nicole has come into this and she thinks that she's like one step ahead. I can appreciate, I've gave her this compliment before, let this be the last time. I can appreciate someone who is very self-aware and who does the work on themselves. Truly, I can appreciate that. And I know that she has done that. And I know that she's trying really hard. But her constantly feeling like, I have to tame myself. I have to bring myself in. I have to do this. I have to do that. Nicole, we're tired of hearing that. Just do it. Got something better for you. Just do it. Find something else to talk to your husband about. Give us some more depth. Give us something interesting other than you're used to running the show. We got it. There's plenty of women out there that are used to running the show. There's plenty of husbands that don't care that their women run the show. So I just need you to just relax and be who you are and stop I said this on the last one. Stop overthinking or stop thinking that you have like every single thing is a matter of your influence. You are not that important. You are on the show just like everybody else. Let's take it one day at a time. Relax, Nicole. Relax. Everything she do, it's like I had to pull that out of him. If he gives her an answer, she's thinking that answer is not his real answer. Take it for face value for what it is. When he's ready to let you know something, be clear. Chris is a big boy. And everybody that's approaching him like he's not because he has a nice nature, relax. He is still grown. He will still hit, even nice-natured people, hit a breaking point.
Been there, done that.
Talking to the left.
You ain't talking.
My left.
I know you're lying.
To the left. So I'm just saying, like, stop thinking that y'all have all of this influence, all this power. This man just met you. Maybe he's waiting for the camera to turn off so he can show you how nice people snap.
What?
No, like she is taking on all of this like, yes, she's taking on all of this like, oh, see, Chris, if you don't want to, if he said he's okay with it, he's okay with it. If he said, y'all just give him a minute to get comfortable. He may be nice-natured. He may be too nice-natured, but she needs to grow into this relationship. Please.
I agree, but we did see because Chris did say in the episode, and I believe it was the last one when she kept saying, I forget what she was saying.
She kept talking about her makeup on the wedding day,
and he was getting aggravated with that.
Because
you're
always
pointing out something
about the wedding day. Yeah. We're specifically talking about the wedding day. She's sitting there, in addition to her feeling like she's a bully. Now, wait a minute, I might have a little bit of this problem too. Not me self-reflected. But when you see yourself in a picture or in a video, actually, no, I'm not going to just take that by myself. We all have that issue where we sit there and look at ourselves and go, oh my God, or, oh my God.
Some more than others.
No, but you're going to look at yourself and see that. So I get it, but for the way that they presented it to us or edited it, she took that entire moment where they're supposed to be talking about their 1 month anniversary and all of this stuff to talk about. It's nice and everything, but my makeup looked bad. It was really good, but my makeup looked bad. And Nicole, we appreciate the honesty, and for some of us, we agree. But that wasn't the focal point. Because I addressed her makeup in episode 1. If you go back and watch, and my lovely sister, per usual, tried to shut me out.
I wasn't. But yes, she was sitting up there crying, and then she had another say, "My makeup looks so horrible." That's what you was crying about. Your makeup looking horrible. Like you said, it was a moment that you were supposed to be sharing with him to reflect, to say, "Listen, this is how far we came." I think the couples that actually like start out good and actually have a good running tend to like not really get all into it because they think that everything is just so perfect. But at the end of the day, everything really isn't perfect between you two. You still don't know each other, and it's only been a month.
To round out my thoughts, to go back to a point that you made, Nicole also needs to understand, because this episode, I happen to watch the after show as well. So I'm aware of a lot that you're doing, Nicole. Okay? Per Shaquille. Okay?
Right.
But this episode, when all the couples got together, Nicole sits down as if she is Dr. Viviana who left the show. Dr. Viviana's not on this show,
I'm
Nicole.
sorry, y'all.
Why are you laughing?
Because you're just saying stuff.
Because
she's sitting down like she's Dr. Viviana.
How I feel. And you know, again, I have worked on my communication. I can easily tell you how I feel about Nicole. Still like her, still think her marriage is gonna make it. But this stuff that she's doing, if I was a participant as well, I would have to ask them remove Nicole from the rest of my experience. Because if getting on my last nerve was a person, producers enter Nicole bye. But the reason why I'm saying that is because she sits down at the table and she feels like her and Chris are just in such this great place. Now, mind you, last episode, your husband had to let you know, I did tell the producers you was a little thicker. And you had a moment with that. We're all not sitting in this great place. And we'll get into that with another couple. But she sat down, she's talking to them like, okay, so where are y'all at and what are y'all doing? We're doing the same experiment that you're doing, Nicole. We're doing the same experiment. She wants details on everyone. She has all of this feedback that she wants. Stop laughing at me. She has all of this feedback she wants to provide. And I'm like, oh, wait, can they show her profession again? No, because she literally sat down like, Jasmine, Aris, what's going on? That's how she approaches it.
Did do this.
What's going on with you two? How are we doing with the? So no sex, we're not kissing. You guys should be a lot further than that.
She definitely was.
And I'm like, did the producers tell her we have a dual role for you? She was telling Shaq when she had a problem. She was telling Clint and Gina. Now in the beginning, I didn't think y'all was going to. I'm like, I'm not her reviewing within the show. I'm done. I'm going to say last time, this is the end of my review. Forgive my long rant. Nicole, DTM. I'm done.
I agree. She definitely was overstepping her boundaries when it comes to the other couples. But I also fault the other couples too. I think one of the problem is that they be having side conversations with each other. So what we found in the after show was that after dinner that they actually grouped together, the guys grouped together and the women grouped together. And I think what happens in those group sessions is the things that they're supposed to be saying to their spouse, they're not saying to their spouse. They're letting Sister Nicole know what's going on. She comes back as pastor over them, and she wants to talk to them and reveal to them the things that she's been receiving from other folks instead of just focusing on their relationship. So I kind of fault the other couples too.
Shaq said Nicole slips letters under their apartment with giving them advice. So for example, she slipped a letter under Shaquille and Kirsten's apartment telling Shaquille, don't forget to show her affection, give her a kiss tonight, make her feel safe. And I'll wait for your doctorate.
Who are you? You're on the show just like I am. Relax.
I need a back scratcher.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I can. Like something that could, you don't have those.
No, ma'am. No. Just use my hand, scratch my back if I need to.
Excuse me. Some of us have a little more back. Amen. Saints, those that are with me, can I get an amen? We can't just always because right now that edge, I didn't get that itch.
Okay. So anyway,
hold on, y'all. I posted this meme that said we only got a few weeks left to unbig our back.
Yeah.
That's me. And I could do it. It's okay. I'll drop the weight before. I will do it. Let the record show.
You can do
I'm gonna unbig this back. But right now I'm trying to scratch. No, Nicole and Chris. I still think Nicole and Chris are gonna make it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, they're gonna make it, but I want you to unbig this back.
And will.
Okay, so yes, I do think they're gonna make it. You know what happens? It's nighttime, and this is the just that we do at night.
And I still have to go to the gym. I mean, I might do the kettlebell because it's late.
It's fine, but yeah. So I do think that they, despite all of that we just said, I do still think that they're gonna say yes on decision day, and they will continue after decision day. So they're an accept couple, and I've been saying it since the beginning.
Correct.
We're gonna move on to our next couple, and that's gonna be Clint and Gina. I have seen growth in Clint and Gina. I see how Gina's opened up a little bit more. They have learned not to focus so much on the negative, but more on the positive things in their relationship. Her dog, Hank, loves Clint. He be looking out. I think Hank is he, right?
Yeah.
Hank went swimming with him. They went to a little hike. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. When they first went to the hike, I said, hey, they always in the tree. So yes, certain people always go hiking in the trees, and I'm saying I'm not a nature person, so I don't want to be out there with bugs and stuff like that. And so I'm like, no, thank you. Gotta save and preserve my skin. So yeah, so they went. So yes, but then so I thought it was just a bunch of trees, but they really like felt like this little like spring or something, and like Clint went in and a waterfall that was like, this is Tennessee, so it was very nice, and I thought it was a very nice thing for them to do. And Clint is just continuing to open up to let Gina know that he wants to know her even more. And he, we didn't say this in the beginning, but the couples have reached their 1 month. So they have been together for 1 month. They are reflecting over that, celebrating that in whatever way that they want to celebrate it. And, with Clint and Nicole, they took it back to Jamaica. So they had dinner at their house, and Gene, not Clint and Nicole, not crossing. Can't cross.
What am I seeing here?
What am I seeing here? I can't get there.
That's what our grandfather says. When he be like, he be get ready to say something, and then he just be like, and it be like kind of juicy, and you be like, what? He be like, I can't get no order.
And then he shuts down immediately. I'm like, so you can't bring information up and then stop? No. But yeah, so anyway, Clint and Gina, when they had dinner and they were talking about their 1 year, and then just saying what they were looking forward to in their 1 year, their 1 month, and then saying,
what I'm mad about is that I keep nodding.
You're adding to sis. No,
stop nodding and listen to what she's saying.
Hear me and hear me good.
Because it's all a lie.
So
it is not with Nicole, and they have not made no 1 year.
They have not made it to 1 year, but yes, so they're saying for their 1 month, and that setting realistic goals as to what we want to see in the next month. Yes. Before decision day. Where do we want to be, and that is to grow a little closer and to know a little bit more about each other. And I have to say, in the beginning, I thought she was going to be out after the honeymoon. When he called her and said she was not athletic, she lost her mind, and I thought she was about to tell him divorced. Divorced. So
celebrate what?
My divorce. So I thought she was not hesitant to move in. She was very nah, I need to learn. I could do this on my own. But to see the growth, now it's gonna be interesting because they don't wind up together. But just it was nice to see them in that light.
What do you mean they don't wind up together?
Child, you see that video where he kissing Dominique?
Oh. I forgot about that. I'm thinking you got a Lifetime connect.
I do. Reach out to me, Lifetime. I got something for y'all.
Clint and Gina, I agree. I think that they have come a long way. Now that you just mentioned that they don't make it, I'm now trying to alter my thoughts because when I was coming in with the hot and heavy positivity. Well, I'm still going to because what they are showing us this week, what they have shown us this week is a lot of growth. Clint, to me, continues to have, I think he's just a good time. You know how, there's some people, they're just a good time. They come with good vibes. He seems like he has good energy. It's just he can really adapt to doing whatever. As soon as they got to the waterfall, he wanted to jump in. He wanted to swim. He's very what's the word?
Free-spirited.
Free-spirited. But very into having a good time, not taking stuff too seriously. You got one life to live. You got to relax a little bit. He's very like that. She is, she's still coming around, I would say,
right.
Concerning that. But to me, regardless of what happens, now I'm seeing why the experts put them together. So with that, I'm kind of seeing how they can maybe help her relax. And Clint can help her kind of come out of the salon.
And debrief.
Clint can kind of help her come out of being this workaholic girl who's not doing, who can be doing more and living life and having a partner that she can rely on and lean on. He's there for the dog. Clint is doing everything. That dog loves him. He be following Clint around more than he follow around Gina. And that happens. Trust me, dogs fall in love with you when you're the best. So they and I
Clint
just
and Gina.
It's true. I'm just saying there's truth to it. So I really saw their growth. I really think that they have a shot to make it until you pointed that
Dun
out.
dun dun dun.
Because I felt like they were just really turning to a good place where if she could now see that, they can move forward. Clint's a good time. I think that Clint has a great personality, and I think that if they don't make it, it's because Gina's still stuck on old Clint.
No, remember we saw a glimpse of next week and how she's telling and talking about the fact that her mother was a single mother and that she doesn't really trust males. And baby, you was trying to say something.
Well,
so we got a little glimpse. I know you want to say it, but all I'm saying is
because I'm not gonna accuse.
No, I know. Like I wouldn't do that. Don't do that.
That's cold. What I'm saying is that what she brings up is that her comfort, she's putting it on being raised by a single mom, which, that can happen. I don't have kids. I don't like to talk about parenting and things like that because I'm not in that. I just think that there's certain things that you should pay attention to when you are helping your child develop for this thing called life. Mm-hmm. Because, as mom and dad, you're not going to always be there. And so you want your kids to know that you're there. You want them to know that they can rely on you, but you want them to gain an independence for themselves and realize you got to figure this thing out. I've given you morals. I've given you the foundation. Now you have to give this out. So for her to be at this big age and feeling like she can only connect with women. Mm-hmm. Next couple. And
I'm lost in the thought. I don't know about anybody else.
As in the words of my grandfather, granddaddy, I can't get into all of that. But that she literally says that she feels like she can only connect with women. And I'm like, there's no problem connecting with women. You having a relationship with your mom can help you develop relationships with women to where you can have friends, to where you can have friends that seem like sisters. You know how to interact. But feeling like you can only connect to women and bringing that back to your childhood, there's some daddy issues going on there. And I understand that a male wasn't present. So Gina, before you jumped into a marriage and got mad about not being athletic enough, did you handle the work to allow you to see why you're stopping yourself from even, because before Clint, how many did you meet that you felt like you just weren't connected with because they weren't female?
Well, we don't know if she didn't connect because they wasn't female. We only seen a glimpse of the next episode, so we can speak a little bit further.
Allegedly.
Yes. So they don't make it. So we're gonna go ahead to the next couple. So, I want to go to Shaquille and Kirsten.
And I'm not going to go into my review because you've been doing all of yours first. But Shaquille Nicole are on my last.
Okay. Well, first of all, because you're saying Shaquille and Nicole.
Yeah,
okay. I'm saying, they're not together, right? No. Okay. Don't get it mixed up like me. So, yes. So, I kind of was like on Kirsten's side a little bit on this episode because she has been saying, so we all know in the beginning she was not physically attracted to him. She didn't really date people that's bald headed, so she was trying to get to the physical attractive to him. But what I've seen her over the weeks is put effort in to try to get to know him, to try to be a part of his world. And I see him doing everything he want to do, and when he has time, he will fit her in. I mean, she opened up when she came on, she was talking to I believe it was her friend, and was saying that he comes home some nights and I'm in bed. It's like you've been out all night, you've been working, and you might go hang with your friends. And while all those things are important, we should be dedicating specific times to get to know each other. And Shaquille always gets mad and upset when he does not know things that she says until she brings it up in the group. For instance, when they were at the group and she mentioned that there still is little chemistry, and he's like, I don't understand why you said that and shot. You bring this up at the table. I say keep things at home in the house. Well, we're on an experiment. This is on a show. And, you do have to communicate with each other. And when they got back from the dinner, they talked about, what happened. And, he expressed how he felt, and she felt, excuse me. And she was saying, you didn't ask me. I mean, Clearly, they asked them at the table. She responded, but there had been no prior asking. He's like, "What? I got to ask you everything? I'm not about to do that. We didn't come through." It's like, pipe down, Shaquille. Pipe down.
Well, I would like to pause here for a minute. Pause the video. Moving. Okay, if you have been hearing rattling from the mic, we took a break. We will stop that moving forward. Not sure if you're hearing it or not, but either way, know that we're addressing it. Now, this is what I want to say in regards to Shaquille and Kirsten. Here's what Shaquille was saying. Because when he, in the beginning, was trying to test the temperature and see what was going on, he was rejected a lot. So because he was rejected a lot, which that's good that you have that feeling about Kirsten, I'm going to give Shaquille a smidgen of grace. I'm not Jesus. I'm not giving you a lot. I'm going to give him a smidgen of grace because what he was saying was when I was trying, when I was doing this, when I was testing the temperature, I was getting Elsa. Okay? And he was like, Encanto. What's the Encanto? What's that one where they were like in the... Oops.
You didn't even see Encanto. What are you talking about?
Is it called Encanto?
It's called Encanto.
Encanto.
And what? Nobody, we don't talk about Bruno?
But what I'm saying is, he was getting frozen and he was more in the Encanto weather. Wasn't that like summer? Okay, maybe. Let's listen, okay? Because maybe the metaphor didn't work, and that's okay. It didn't connect. Okay. We're gonna move on. Okay, we're gonna move on. Now, he was getting frozen. Let me just stop. He was getting a cold shoulder. I'm trying, and it's the way you're shutting down the metaphor, and then I'm not properly articulating it. So we're done. He was getting the cold shoulder from her. He was getting a lot of shutdown. He was getting her, just not being ready, her saying no. He wanted to give her a kiss, and she said no. She was not comfortable with that. She was not ready. Kirsten, this is where it's a little bit of a double-edged sword. Now I'm upset about my metaphors if they make sense. This is where it's a little bit of a double-edged sword because Kirsten is slowly coming around. She may not be opening up fully. She may still be closed off in some areas, but she's coming around in particular to the attraction to you. And as a wife, she's wanting more time with you so that she can continue to grow in her marriage with you. She didn't look at you, which is not happening with every couple, and we'll get to you, Eris. She didn't look at you, decide that you weren't attractive, and stop trying. So, which some couples have done. Dominique got turned off by a lot, and she stopped trying. And McKinley also shut down. I'm not blaming Dominique at all. Right. But what I'm saying is that, again, she's showing that even though I wasn't attracted to you, blah, 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 whatever, the couple's matched just for a reason. And so even though it's a slow walk for her, she's still walking. And I think that's where Shaquille needs to give her a little grace. Shaquille's thing is, let me know where you're at, because when I checked the temperature, it was cold. If you're now moving from winter to spring, I would like to know that. Her thing is, again, double-edged sword, which I kind of agree. Her thing is the way you don't just check the temperature just once. Mm-hmm. Honey, I got weather app downloaded on my phone. Mm-hmm. I checked the weather a couple times. So her thing is, if you're not, why aren't you checking back in to see that temperature gauge? Mr. Always getting offended, Shaquille, and that's where he's getting on my nerves. When I say he's getting on my nerves, that's where he's getting on my nerves, because instead of you actually hearing or actually giving her credit, Shaquille is giving very much like, this is my world, this is how I am. I don't normally have to check temperatures with chicks. Everybody don't want your bald head, so check the temperature. I don't do this, that, and the other. And he's giving very much like, this is my world. I mentor, I do this, he has mentees, and he does a lot. And I appreciate what he's doing for our community. Thank you, Shaquille. But at the same time, you have added Kirsten in here in the ring of the hats that you wear. So you would now have to wear that husband hat. And that's what she's asking for. When you come home, I need time with you. In order for me to grow in this marriage, you want me to get to decision day and say yes? I need to know that I'm saying yes to something that I can see growing. If I don't get to see you, if I don't get to spend much time with you, if the times that I am hanging out with you, you're dictating to me how to pick out a plant, I don't know that I'm going to say yes to that. So I think that Shaquille, while we've been on his side and understanding because of Kirsten's, coldness, we can see her warming a little bit, and Shaquille's not giving her any recognition for that.
I wanted to go back to the weather and what you had said in regards to the app. That's what I wanted to say while you were saying it. Is because you have to go back to the app or have to go and check the weather multiple times because the weather can change at any time. You understand what I'm saying?
Here's what people do. When you say something, they like, okay, they got a message out of that. And that's what you just did. I want to go back to the weather.
Because it's a very important thing to get. You have to
the
grasp
weather can
it.
change
Because what she was saying was,
season are you in?
There you go. There you go. Exactly. What season? See, the problem with Shaquille is, and some of y'all, y'all gotta stay with me. I got something for you. The problem with Shaquille was he was in the winter seasons. When she was cold, when she wasn't talking to him. He didn't recognize that last week we sprung forward.
Let's stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it.
When y'all walk away, y'all get it. No.
One of the things I can't say, I always say that. We should talk about some of y'all it went over your head. It didn't. We didn't go over our head. We just wasn't that deep dive. Some of y'all will get that next week. I just got it now. Go ahead. That's what you said. Y'all will get that next week. No, they got it. Turn my mic off. Okay. So ultimately, yes, I think that Kirsten has done want to respect your name, sis. She has done some movement towards, and I would like to give her credit for that, and I would like for Shaquille to do the same. I don't want him to always be so defensive. I want him to take his ego out just a little bit, because you're not for everybody. But the one that is like, hey, maybe you're not my type, but she starts making an effort because she can see something else, pay attention to that. That's important. That's fair. And it means that she's actually serious about the future of her relationship. I still see a glimmer with them. She's very much more affectionate to him. She is loving that rubbing that bald head. Nicole, I'll give her Dr. Nicole like she wants, but isn't. Nicole sits down, and the reason why he got offended is because, first of all, you're offended because of Nicole. Instead of y'all asking Nicole at the table, well, what's going on with you? Because your husband said you was thick. Y'all are letting her dictate the conversation and then getting annoyed when in reality, Kirsten was just saying that she's working on the attraction piece. It's not 100% there, but she is working on it and she's taking steps towards it, and that should be okay. Shaq took offense to that. He's listening. He's hearing. It's not necessarily what she's saying, but what he's hearing is, you're still not attracted to me. Pay attention to what she's doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do think that I think he's just, as much as he told her that she's just used to getting her way, it seems like she wants things on her own time. He's kind of doing the same thing, and he acts like he can't see that, he doesn't recognize that. And even when we watched the after show, and the other young man, Jason, that was actually another well-known podcaster, was telling him and letting him know that she's made an effort. It may not be what you wanted her to be, but that is her. That could be her 100%. She's opened up 100%. She's let down her wall 100% to you, and because you don't think that it's enough, you're not receiving it, and you're not seeing it as effort. You're not seeing it as her really. She in a month's time, if she didn't like you or she still wasn't attracted to you, she wouldn't be talking about not spending time with you being a problem. And when she keeps, what I keep hearing her saying, especially in this episode, she kept voicing that I want me spending time with you and being intentional in our conversations on getting to know will help me drop some of these walls. But he keeps going back to, but when I asked you back on day 2, what? I was gonna say something, ninja. When I didn't know you on day 2, but I said ninja. Is that not true? But when I didn't know you in day 2, perhaps, yes, that's how I'll admit that's how I was. But here we are in day 30, day 35, or whatever day it is now. And I am saying to you, communication is the key to get me to open up. Don't you get an attitude when I tell you to communicate with me. You're going to get mad at me. I ain't going to check in with you. Well, you know what? Couldn't be me.
Well, that's what happens. The ego start getting in the way. He starts, I'm not going to check in with you. Then I'm not going to check in with you either. And on decision day, there's no need for you to have any question. It's a no. And go check in with somebody else. Try a hotel. The thing is, let me say this. He did mention that Kirsten likes to sit down and ask questions, and he finds that it leads to him being vulnerable, as he's talked about, and he finds that the conversations always turn to him. Let me say this, and maybe he has already done this, and so that's why, it could be some of his frustration. But Shaquille's still getting on my nerves at the same level as Nicole. When you start having a conversation with someone, especially when you're in a getting to know someone phase, we as women, we can do, not all of us, I don't want to speak for all women, but most women, and I certainly can speak for myself, I can do an excellent job of starting to get to know you, what's coming down the bloodline, what's going on in your history, because you want to know these things. If you don't know them, you need to learn them. Don't learn them 15 years later. Now, see, that's how you grab a word.
So they're not going to make it, because that's not a word.
So don't learn them 15 minutes later. So her sitting on the couch, wanting that intimate time with you, that's how she gets to know. That's how she does her thing as far as feeling more safe and opening up to you. So you can't get upset that her way is not your way as to how she does it. I actually understand her way 100%. Talk to them, get to know them. When she asks you a question, ask her the same question. So where's your family from? Louisville. Cool. Where's your family from? Where'd you guys grow up? Atlanta. Okay, cool. I like Atlanta. Let's go. Keep that interaction going. He feels like it keeps turning on him. That's because you just keep giving her the opening. It could not be. Because he could be asking her questions and she could be saying that she's not. Now, that's a whole nother annoyance. She could be saying she's not comfortable answering. But when you're in that getting to know, ask the questions. Don't just sit there and wait for the next question. Ask your questions too, Shaq.
Agreed. So it's a decline for me for them.
Still?
Been saying this since the beginning. Like I said, if they prove me wrong, shout out to them. I want y'all to. I hope that that y'all prove me wrong. But it's just getting another month is not going to help.
I'm still giving Shaquille and Kirsten a yes, because she continues to make the right steps moving forward. And regardless, right? Like, people are gonna get on your nerves, especially through this process. So I'm not going to allow him getting on my nerves to hinder how I truly feel their relationship could turn out. I think that they can have an excellent relationship, and I think that I continue to see the glimpses of them having a great relationship. And I think that they can make it past decision day. I don't know how long, but I think they can make it past the decision day.
It be you with these glimpses for me. I can see a glimpse. If hope was a person.
If we have no hope, what have we?
A glimpse. Next couple, our last and final couple that we're going to be speaking about on today, we saved the best for last, and that is Jasmine and Eris. Yes, I said Eris.
Excuse me, I need a sip of water.
Over here, I'm busy. So yeah, just straight out, not while I'm talking.
It makes its appearance. Remember?
Yeah, but it don't need to shake while I'm talking. So just sip in silence. 2 S's. Okay. What is that? Never mind, I ain't gonna say. I can't remember poetry. So anyway.
I was calling Frozen and Encanto some type of metaphor.
Yeah. So Jasmine and Eris does not like Jasmine. He's always talking about sparing her feelings. But sometimes when you don't even say anything, your actions speak way louder than your words. I noticed a lot of times when they're together, he never holds her hand. She's always has her hand wrapped around his arm. He never makes an effort to show any type of affection towards her or anything. They have not advanced since day one. Since he's seen her walk down the aisle, he has not been interested. They were looking back at their wedding video, and she was noticing, or wedding pictures, and she was noticing that she was truly happy on that day. But you can see Eris, and he was not giving anything. It was just like so. And that's heavy. That's a heavy thing for someone to carry and to continue to go through the process and continue to make an effort. And then now all of a sudden he wants to say, well, let me just say this: we're not gonna have sex say after decision day.
Yeah, he was saying like, let's take it. Let's take
it off the table, which would have been fine if you said it in the beginning. But you're not making any effort. He sat down and talked with one of his friends, same age as him, that was married, and his friend was even saying this isn't good. And then he put the onus on him. What are you prepared to do? Come on, what are you prepared to do?
Thank you, friend.
Help this relationship, to make an effort to make this relationship work. You're telling me the things that don't work, but you're not telling me, like you always tell me, what's the solution? I know the problem, but what's the solution? Don't come to me with the problem and don't have a solution. I can't stand when she say that, but she's so right? When you have a problem.
Oh, you can't stand when I say that?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Yeah, you. I can't,
Let me turn it to Shaquille. I'm offended.
Okay. Hey, no, you're not. No, you're not. I know you, and you are not offended at all. I know you are not offended at all, because my thing is, you've been like this since we was a child, since we were growing up, since we were kids. And a lot of times I didn't like having conversations with her. I still talk to her, but like I would have to prepare myself. You understand what I'm saying? To have the conversation with you, because I knew you were going to say to me, you can't just cry in my face or be upset about something and not have a solution.
Pause.
I said it.
Pause.
And it's done.
We're going to do a 2-minute deviation from Eris and Jasmine. Mm-hmm. I have never been like, don't come crying in my face.
So can I ask you this?
Let's correct that. Go ahead.
When I took the MCAT the very first time, and
I can explain. Go ahead.
And I was very upset. And so for those that don't know me, I used to be very sensitive. I have worked that out. See, when last time I used to cry. Mm-hmm. Okay. I got strong in the Lord. And so a lot of things in life would just be able to, words and people and actions would just be able to bring me to tears. In this particular instance, I was trying to get into med school, but, I hadn't really prepared. I wasn't like, I just graduated college and I was taking the MCAT. And then this was back in the day. I'm still young, y'all, but this was back in the day when the test was still on paper. The first time I took it was still on paper. And so it was a complete 8-hour day test. I mean, literally in the middle of the test, I wanted to give up. But anyway, I still pressed forward. I made it through, and then I got my result back, and it was horrible. And I was crying. And I tell this young lady what I was crying about, and she proceeds to laugh till tears are falling out her eyes.
Now let me say this. I did laugh. I did not understand how the scoring of the MCAT worked.
That it doesn't matter. Why do you think that mattered? It mattered to me that you being in the moment with me would say, it's okay, Nicky.
Because it actually wasn't that bad. But what happened was, because I didn't understand how the scoring worked, when you provided that number, in my mind, I felt like out of 100, like that's how I felt. So in my mind, because I didn't have full knowledge and my ignorance, when you said that number, I felt like out of 100, there's no way you're gonna win. Like in my mind, I was like, but that's not how the scoring works. Again, when you explained the scoring, then I was like, oh, well, hold on, let's look at this differently. It's not that bad. It's not what you wanted. It's not the best. It's not, you want to do better. You definitely can, but you definitely are showing that you can do it, because if that was out of 100, and so it shocked me.
And you're still laughing to this day. It was not a laughing moment.
Because I thought it was out of 100, and
I understand that, and that's fine.
And it incited the laughter. I was like, I think I said out of 100, and I laughed. But I don't see how that makes me say you can't cry in my face.
I never said you said I couldn't cry in your face. I do it all the time. You wouldn't tell me. You couldn't tell me if I couldn't cry or not because I would always cry. But a lot of times when I came to you, especially in my college years, because I went through in college, I didn't have solutions. You know what I mean? I didn't have like I was always somebody that was like, if you say no, then that's just it. Like if you come to me and say this is the law, like I was not built like you. I was not built like my mother, who doesn't take no for an answer, who will go knocking on the doors and be like, absolutely not. But, I don't know. I don't know how I became sensitive Susie in life, but I definitely, but, so I was the seen as the more sensitive one or more overly emotional one. And I couldn't I will say for me, yes, I have to process it, but I'm saying, it was presented to me as if it was a problem until I had to come into the realization that I can't help who I am, and it's not a problem.
But you can help you.
I just think differently, right, you know what I mean? Right. And I process things differently. Right. And I even say that to this day. Like, some things you can't just jump and ask me, I need an answer today. I need this now. No, things I honestly will have to take a step back sometimes and literally think about it, and the answer will come to me like that. And I'll be like, oh, you do X, Y, and Z.
You just did it with the mics tonight. Mm-hmm. It's true.
Ask me how I know.
Yeah.
But so I know we deviated off of Jasmine Ayers.
I am.
Yeah, she wanted to clarify that's not her.
Yeah, that's not me, and how I definitely process way different than my sister.
Absolutely,
I process quickly, and
who all been her employee before? Go ahead.
And they loved me.
They did.
Loved me because I wanted a solution. So when you came to my desk, I wanted a solution of how we could fix this, and I always felt like that was gonna be the best thing. Even when I have done work, I have been like, shoot, I messed up. But we can't get that. We can't get that time back if we try. What's the solution? But
that's a really good way, though, to think and to help people to start to begin to think that way, right? What's the solution? I don't want to always come to the issue, to come to the table with a problem, right, and just have a problem. But let me be able to solve it. So when I get to the table, I can say, yeah, I made this mistake, but this is how I fixed it.
There's two reasons for that. One, you have to understand that when you keep coming to somebody with just a problem, you have to understand what you are putting onto them, especially if they're solution oriented, because they keep trying to take things on and fix it. And it's because you're not really trying to figure that out for yourself. So the reason why I say what's the solution is because that's how I want you to start thinking. The other part of that is that you want to know what's the solution so that you don't get stuck where you're thinking. I can't get too deep on y'all. We'll do this in other episodes because I can go there. Okay? And I can give you a little Dr. Jackie. If Nicole can be a doctor, why can't I? But not you. I mean, you're going to be a doctor too. I'm talking about Nicole on the show. But what I'm saying is that you also want to make the person realize you can't stay there. Because a lot of times when we don't have a solution, we think this is it. We think, why is this happening to me? And we go down this rabbit hole of not moving. And a lot of people are so depressed and trying to mask and hide depression behind their thoughts. Let's get to the thoughts, get to the root of what's going on, and how are we going to fix that moving forward? So you failed the MCATs. When can you take them again? When's the next time to do this? And when's the next time to do that? And let me tell you something about somebody telling you no. That's one person telling you no. And Tyler Perry said this. What up, TP? I'm going to be on one of his shows soon. I can't get into all of that, but just look for me. When Tyler Perry said this, you can have 10,000 no's, but you need one yes. And let me tell you what I learned. When somebody tells you no, that's because that's what's in their capacity. I need the next person above you. Or that means that you don't have what's in your hand to be able to give me the yes. And I've done that as well. When you
sure have.
The lady lady telling you no. Which I forget what it was for. Ma'am, let's go ahead and pass me up to the next person. Because I could hear you and do your job, no disrespect, no shade, do your job. But you're saying no because that's all that's within your realm. You're offering no solution. You could see how minor this is. And maybe we could do this. I said, who's above you? Mm-hmm. But that's why I have that mentality of what's the solution? Because I never want to get stuck in my problem. I want to know what the solution is. I want to see myself coming out. I want to work my way coming out. What's the solution to my big back, like I talked about earlier? Rose.
So anyway, you were so good till you got to your back, but as we pivot back around to Jasmine and Eris, it was that like what you said. You see a problem and what's the solution? So what's your thought on them?
Eris, come here. I'm sick of you. Sick of you. And I'm gonna tell you why I'm sick of you. I want to be very clear. Now I like you. I ain't got no disrespect, no beef with you. Again, anybody from Married at First Sight, y'all welcome to come on the show. We just like to have a good conversation. But you, Eris, when you come, I'm gonna tell you straight to your face. Sick of you. Why? The reason why I'm sick of Eris is because he has sat there. It goes right back to what I was just saying. He has sat there every single episode and try to make it, because he knows that the cameras are rolling. I don't care what you say. He is trying to make himself not look like as ignorant as he is being. And this is my thing. You don't have to like Jasmine. You don't have to find Jasmine attractive. But the behind the scenes chatter, the you telling everybody and trying to make it seem like it's hurting my feelings. No, everybody's not everybody's cup of tea. But it is a lid for every pot. If you don't like Jasmine, you don't like Jasmine. Remove yourself from the experiment. Because let me tell you what you're not doing is you're not even attempting to do the experiment, see why you're with her, and grow past what it is that you see. And the reason why everybody around you is challenging you is because you absolutely refuse to grow past and then have the audacity to say that you've tried. How? When? Who saw it? What episode? Minute mark. You have not tried to go past what you feel like is an unattractive woman. And then, with your gaslighting self, want to turn around and be like, she's just not my type. She's a beautiful woman, but she's just not my type. We can see that she's a beautiful woman. And we can see that you're an okay man. And that's the thing that gets me, and I'm sick of this too. Stop presenting it as if you're creme de la creme. And Jasmine can't just get enough of me. All Jasmine is simply stating is that she's human. And as a man, she finds you attractive. Jasmine is not drop dead head over heels for you. Because when you open your mouth, you become less attractive. Be clear about that, Eris. And understand that the reason why the experts chose her is because Jasmine brings something to the table that you haven't found in 39 years. But go ahead. Keep going for what it is that you think that you want. Keep going for what it is that you think you're going to be attracted to. And even if you get that, I'll put money on this. It won't last. Because all you got was what you thought was the surface. You didn't get nothing in depth. Because you won't go in depth with her. And then you attain it to, it's just my personality. Everything's so serious. If you don't want everything to be so serious and you want to joke, don't forget to laugh. That way we can know that you're joking.
I do that sometimes though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And what happens?
People, I didn't know you was joking.
Thank you. People
misinterpret.
It's not funny. And the reason why it's not funny is because
it's true. You need to, or at least come behind it and say something like, no, I'm just joking or something. But when you don't, people it's left up to their interpretation and everybody doesn't get it. The
reason why it's even more of a problem, Eris, is because you have prefaced your joke with all of your dislikings of her. And I'm going to tell you why this is also probably passionate, because I've had the same experience. Someone prefacing all of these things that they think is a problem. I can't even get into that. Can't even get to that.
Ain't got time.
They find a problem, or they find not to be for them. When number one, please remember, like, you're 2.5 out of 10. So when you start prefacing as if you're coming on some like that's the thing. Eris is coming like, I've had a GQ model for the last 10 years. I've had a GQ contract for the last 10 years. All these MMGM, MME, all these model agencies are coming after me. So of course I want the Amway, because I'm looking for Michael B. Jordan, who can have that high of a preference, Eris. I'm not saying that you don't need to have an initial attraction. All I'm saying is that if you have decided that the attraction that you have has stunted your mind and it has stopped you from moving forward, remove yourself. Jasmine does not deserve, nor does she need, 29 episodes of you being on camera talking about how she's attractive, but she's pretty. She's not attracted to me. I just don't like her. I just don't want her. Let's do this. And then trying to play her in her face. Nobody wants to be at your circus. This roller coaster that you're on, Aris, Jasmine's getting off. She deserves better than you. And then try to play her in her face because she's actually trying to do the experiment and say, it's like everybody has this expectation that we're supposed to have sex. Well, that's because 45,332 times you talked about how sexual you are. You called her boring. This is another thing I think. I think that you think that she's actually boring because she hasn't been some type of skank that let me get out of it, that you're used to. Because you talk about your life, all the stuff that you have going on, and she was like, I don't do all of that. She doesn't have a desire to be in orgies. As you stated, you've been in plenty. So she's like, I don't have a desire to do that. And then you, in your mind, you translate that to being boring. So, Arish, you want a wife or a floozy? Pick one. But stop trying to play Jasmine like a puppet. As if you something that special. It's not fair. And then keep trying to hide it behind, I don't want her feelings. I'm really a good. It's not that we don't think that you're a bad person. We think that you are just immature. And that's fine. If you're stunted in your mind, then leave Jasmine alone and leave this experiment alone.
So yeah, I don't say he's immature. I just say that he was not truly ready for the experience, and he was not ready to actually. So
how was he handling it when they were doing the cards for their 1 month, and he was talking about all of this crazy stuff that he had going on, all these sexcapades and all of that? How was he handling it?
I think that's where he's at. So he's being honest that that's where he's at. I think that he wasn't 100% honest with the experts and what he was wanting or what he wanted to do. And he's not as open as to the experiment as he said he was. Personally, I just think that that's where we can say, yeah, he's 39 years old. Yeah, he's 39 years old. And that's where he's landed at 39. And that's what he wants. And that's what he's experienced. And that's what he considers fun. And that's what he calls life. But
Harris needs to grow up.
In your opinion? Because not everybody says that. No, some people have come in and said that they don't think it's a lack of immaturity. It's really the fact that he just doesn't like her, and that some people are just not forthcoming, and just being honest and saying upfront, like he keeps saying that. Well, it's been hard, and I've had to say some harsh things. But at the end of the day, what really should have happened was, since he's not making the effort to do anything with her, he should have just not taken sex off the table completely. He should have just said he was done with the experiment.
Well, let's be clear. Should have just been honest. I'm not discrediting Aries for feeling like that's not my type. Everyone is entitled to that. Mm-hmm. Now, from there, how you handle that, you need to be mature enough. To a degree. But I'm not saying, or like in my opinion, I'm not trying to tell him though that he has the right. I'm not trying to force him to be with Jasmine.
Right.
You don't need to be with Jasmine if you don't want to be with Jasmine. The issue that I have is Aris is sitting here episode after episode after episode, and he is trying to make it look like it's Jasmine.
Yeah, that's true.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
And it's like, stop putting all of this on her. And because Jasmine's clear, she is attracted to you.
Right.
Jasmine has not been head over heels for you.
Right.
But in general, she is good with the experiment. She's good with being married. This is what she actually wanted. So she's going to walk these 8 weeks out how they're supposed to be walked out. It doesn't make it seem, he makes it seem like Jasmine is all over me and I just have to keep pushing her off. Like, oh my God, I don't like her. I don't want her. That's not the truth.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like.
No, I agree with that because he does. I don't like when he makes it seem like she's so falling head over heels for him. And I don't even get that from her. I get that she likes him, and then we also get that we don't get to see them 24 hours and things are edited and things of that nature. So we don't know what types of conversation that they are having. But from what I can see on the TV screen and what we're watching, I'm not seeing her falling and tripping all over you.
But the other thing is too is like, okay, then watch your you're leading on.
Yeah.
Watch your leading on too if that's how you feel. Yeah. Because in the same breath, he could tell her, in other words, don't come into the experiment just to play the game because you want to get your followers up. Because you're playing with somebody's emotions and like real heart. And I say that that's the thing because like I told you, it doesn't matter. The ugliest dude can be telling you that you're ugly. Or that or to him, he can be telling you that you're not attractive. It's insulting, but it actually does do something to your esteem. Even though they're like, I don't know who's. Oh, well, I don't want to say who's ugly.
Never mind.
Never mind.
And also,
but like, I'm just saying,
everybody's, has their own thought on who they feel is
literally.
or not,
like
so.
Flavor Flav can come up to you and be like, "I don't want her." Now we know, Flavor Flav has come back to the screen. All I'm saying is like, even though you have no interest in Flav like that, you know what I mean? And maybe you could have grown into an interest with him. Even though you have no interest in Flav like that, him saying that though, and especially if he was repeating it and doing stuff repeatedly to come at your ego, it's wrong.
Well, absolutely, because words do have power. And,
that's my thing.
And they do affect.
And by next episode, Jasmine finally breaks. And that's why I'm like, thank you, Jasmine, because it's the truth. You can't continue to be around somebody that has the audacity to sing your praises and do all this, that, and the other. And then he just kind of leads her on. And let's be clear. If you want to be friends with her, give her that option. You don't have the right to choose that for her. If you feel like, hey, I don't want to proceed with this, I would love to be friends, that's on her. Dominique told McKinley she would like to be friends, and McKinley was like, I'm not interested in being your friend. That's
right.
That's allowed.
Right.
That's okay. But that's why next week she's finally like, I had to get to a point of self-love. And then I get in contact with this dude who is doing everything he can. And I don't believe that he's realizing that he's doing it, but he is breaking her down. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing you just, you don't want to see. And like I said,
praying for you, Jasmine.
I would rather him just be 100% honest, not just be honest to her face, but I'd rather them actually have a real conversation with the expert to say, listen, I can say that I tried, and I just, I can't, and I just don't see this being a past the decision day thing.
And that's my point to Eris. That's okay. For you, that's how you feel. That's where you're at.
That's absolutely
fine.
Okay. That's absolutely fine.
That's okay. You move on. Get the followers that you came for and have a good day.
Yeah. So, like I've been saying from the beginning, it's a decline for me.
Heavy, hard pass.
And I think that in the beginning, I did think that I thought that he liked her. I felt like it because he has a way with words, and so
very charismatic.
He was saying things that I'll be there for your mom and all that. But I don't think he realizes how much damage you really can do by saying certain things. And so for me, it's just.
That's why I want her to move on. I don't want Eris to get damaged. I don't want Jasmine to get damaged.
Right.
Let's stop this now before there's any further damage.
Yeah.
That's really truly how I feel.
Yeah.
Let's stop this now before there's any further damage, because I'm just saying that, it can happen.
Absolutely. So that's a wrap on all the couples and this past episode. I think we kind of included something from the previous episode too.
Yes, but that was good.
Yeah, we did. Y'all did good this week. Married at First Sight, 2-in-1. We want to say thank you to everybody for joining in. Again, these are just our opinions. We're just having fun conversation, and we hope that you join us in these conversations. Hope we make you laugh. Hope we make you smile, and you just have a great day. Remember to follow us on Instagram at
Living Learning Lifestyle,
and follow me at Nicky D81 NYCKIED 81 on Instagram. You can also follow our page here at YouTube. So remember, click subscribe. Click that notification bell so you can get the notification every time we upload a video. We are trying to do it every week, but like we stated before, if we're getting a week where we're just not getting any information, we don't want to put it out there for you guys because it's getting boring, and we don't want to be boring. So we're definitely looking forward to doing more and more and more and more on this podcast. I also wanted to say that we are now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So relax, relate, debrief. If you don't have time to watch it on YouTube, you can listen to it on those platforms. So please, put the information at the end of this. But make sure you subscribe, make sure you share with somebody, and just want to say thank you again for tuning in.
Comment. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know if you have a different view. If there's something that you thought was different. If you watched the show. If just by listening you think that there is another way to think about it. Conversation is the best, and that is what we want our channel to also be focused on.
Right.
Subscribe.
Toodaloo.
Bye. See you later. And should I give a solo next time?